What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today I'm running a solo show because Jeremiah isn't feeling well, and we're going to keep it going. He'll be back next week to for the picks of the Super Bowl. But with that being said, two games, one epically great, the other one not so great. What we saw was, we're going to start off with Denver. I want to first congratulate the New England Patriots for making the Super Bowl. They did everything they needed to do to not lose. Both teams starting out, the Broncos seemed like they were intent on showing that just because Bo Nix was out, it didn't mean much of anything. But as the game went on, we saw the difference between having a Bo Nix versus having a Jarrett Stidham. And I'm going to start with the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham is exactly the thing that I've always talked about when it comes to backup quarterbacks. To me, when you have a backup quarterback, your backup quarterback needs to be extra special. He needs to be able to be as good or close to as good as the starter as the guy who's starting the game. And the problem that we saw was that there was such a major difference between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham that it was almost comical. We saw Jarrett Stidham do stuff that was just so backwards as a quarterback. Like, we saw him do some type of weird shoveling passes that I've never seen a quarterback do before. I mean, the very first one he did, it looked like he was doing more, pitching it to the ref instead of finding an actual player to pitch it to. Then he does it again in this very weird type of thing and almost throws an interception. Then he actually does throw an interception, and at that point, before then, you just saw that there was no comparison to Bo Nix being in versus Jarrett Stidham being in. I mean, there was no comparison in the fact that Bo Nix would have won this game. Jarrett Stidham loses the game. And it bothers me because these are always the backup quarterback. Like, these are the guys that teams, for some reason, bring these guys in, and they're always buns. Like, there's never a time where you see guys, and it's always against, they always rely on their starting quarterback to stay healthy, right? And then they'll bring up a backup that's not even comparable to them or even close to going to be a successful quarterback because of the fact that it's all about who they like. Jarrett Stidham is a terrible backup, an awful backup. And the fact that Bo Nix gets injured, and the answer to all of this, especially with Sean Payton, is to have Jarrett Stidham there instead of trying to go get, I think they signed Taysom Hill or something like that. But why would you not find yourself a quarterback that has been on your team before that could have easily backed up a guy like Bo Nix, or found somebody who has similar traits to Bo Nix? Jarrett Stidham ran the ball maybe a couple times, and then that was it. And he just looked a total mess from then on out. The crazy thing about it is that I knew that this would happen in this game. I said that the Patriots would win this game because Bo Nix was out. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what I will say is on the opposite side of that, the Patriots have been the beneficiaries of some incredible luck. And it's not to say that the team is bad or it can't get it done or anything like that. But if you're not a fan of the Patriots, and we know how Patriots fans are, they don't care. They don't care, and rightfully so. They don't care how they got the win. It's that they got the win. and rightfully so. But when you watch them, they're like primed to be upset. Like they're primed to be beaten. Like they didn't really do anything offensively in the game to really devastate the Denver Broncos. Their defense stepped up big. Congratulations. The Patriots defense does a lot when it comes to that. That Patriots defense keep them in the games a whole lot. But the Patriots haven't really had to deal with a team that could score in chunks on them or that could actually make them pay for when Sam Darnold has a turnover. Today, Sam Darnold didn't even have a turnover. Today, Drake May didn't even have a turnover. Drake May did not have a turnover at all. And because of that, Drake May didn't seem too bad. You know, he really didn't seem too bad. He made the one key play that they needed to keep the clock going, and we saw the New England Patriots beat the Denver Broncos 10-7 in a AFC Championship game. Again, like I said, the Patriots, they've had their share of luck. I mean, to be honest, it was something. I mean, to see that even them beating the Houston Texans off of the back that C.J. Stroud throws 4 interceptions and I think altogether had 8 turnovers. I mean, that was absolutely crazy. And then here we are again with the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix gets injured, breaks his ankle, is out for the remainder of the playoffs, and in comes the New England Patriots and they win. Like I said again, not taking anything away from them, not taking anything away from them making the Super Bowl, but they've had a very good path to the Super Bowl, and I do want to congratulate them on that. But they're not doing anything that is like, oh, it's extraordinary or anything like that offensively. Defensively, they're big time. Offensively, Drake is managing things. He's managing things, and we saw even in this game, he was making sure he did not have a turnover. So he wasn't trying to throw the ball or much of anything, but he was just trying to make sure he did not have a turnover, and he did just that. So with that, yeah, New England moves on to the Super Bowl. The next game, which was the exciting game, the game that was going back and forth. I told y'all from the beginning of the season, the NFC had beef. The entire NFC had beef with the rest of the NFC. Every NFC team has something to prove, and this year we saw what was probably the toughest NFC, I guess, team plays, or the toughest NFC that we've seen in a long time, where we're talking about every team had an opportunity to pull upsets. There were teams that were supposed to be good, they didn't quite make it, and we end up with 2 of the toughest teams that was left over in the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. And this game was great. Absolutely great. Sam Darnold, 300 and something yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Matthew Stafford, 300 and something yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Both of these teams were intent to sit up there and make their way and clock their number into the Super Bowl. And it was impressive. We're talking about from the onset of the game. Seattle jumped out immediately, was trying their best to hold the Rams off, and then the Rams found a way to come back. They at first they were going to Puka Nacua a lot. Then all of a sudden, when the Seattle figured out that it's time to shut Puka Nacua down, they ended up turning around and started going to Davante Adams, and Davante Adams just started putting on a catching clinic out there. And, I mean, it was just one of those games. Kenneth Walker is still doing exactly what he was doing from the onset of the playoffs. He's been big time. He's sat up there and made all the plays he needed to make, from running the ball to catching the ball out the backfield. He's big time, and he's showcasing that even with Charbonnet out, he sat up there and really did a lot to sit up there and put his team in the right position. Again, Sam, you got to congratulate Sam Darnold. Like, last year, Sam Darnold collapsed at the end of the season and collapsed into the playoffs. This year, not so much. He's actually been on a tear. He's been sitting up there focusing on the fact of making plays, making sure he does everything he needs to do. He still struggles a little bit with handling pressure, but today he handled it pretty well, and he was finding open receivers all day today. Smith-Njigba is just great. I mean, he's just he's an elite guy, and he's had his breakout season this year. He should win Offensive Player of the Year this year. He's just that special this year, just that good this year. It was incredible how it was. So, yeah, I really do feel that this is one of those things where Sam Darnold had a great game. Smith-Njigba, a great game. Kenneth Walker, a great game. But there's no taking away from the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford he just doesn't die. Matthew Stafford is one of the most consistent guys when it comes to winning or coming back and possibly winning. I mean, he makes it happen. And man, this was a pretty good game. I mean, not a pretty good. This was a great game of these playoffs. This was like the best game. And man, like I said, it's sad to see a game end like it did, where it really did come down to the last play of the game. Puka Nacua catches the ball inbounds. The clock runs. Game is over. Man, I mean, and it was close. Because understand this, if at any point the Rams had scored a touchdown, they would have sat up there and won on a walk-off touchdown. So, again, like I said, this was a great game. And we're now going to see the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. We haven't seen this matchup since the blame game that a lot of Seattle fans and players like to give to Russell Wilson. But they haven't seen them since that I can't remember what that Super Bowl was, but either way, they haven't seen them since then. This will be a game where, we will see what happens. We will see if the Patriots' luck run out, or if they're just the team of destiny this year. Are they the team that's going to make it all the way through and actually win, or are we going to see what has been the most level team when it comes to being good offensively and defensively? Will we see this team basically dominate a Patriots team that hasn't shown offensively that they can truly compete against some of the top teams? Even though we're talking about this is now their third top defense that they're going to see in these playoffs. And again, they beat the Houston Texans, beat the Denver Broncos today, and now they go up against number one when it comes to defense in the Seattle Seahawks. Like they say, defense wins championships. Will the New England Patriots defense, which has been playing very well, will they be able to contain a Sam Darnold? Or will it be the Seattle Seahawks offense that finds a way to find a hole and a chink in the armor of the New England Patriots defense? Will the Seattle defense, which we know for a fact is a team that is used to sitting up there and making plays and also scoring. This Seattle defense isn't like many other defenses. This one is actually one that is opportunistic and can actually score when need to. So, again, this is something that's big. And when it comes to Seattle's defense, you make a mistake against them, they're going to capitalize on the mistakes. So, this is going to be a pretty solid Super Bowl. We don't get to see blowouts in Super Bowls. Something always happens, like the lights go out, and it just so happened to be in San Francisco or Santa Clara where the lights went out before. So, we're definitely going to see what happens in this upcoming Super Bowl. Again, congratulations to the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. I hope that this becomes a great game. I hope this is a good game that we do see. And like I said, me and Jeremiah will be back for our Super Bowl picks. And y'all catch us when we actually do that. Other than that, y'all tell me in the comments below, how do y'all feel about the whole thing? How do some of y'all feel about the fact that it's going to be the Seahawks versus the Patriots? How many of y'all predicted that this would be the game? Tell me down in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.